the mic's on. We are live. I'm not sure what screen to put the thing on. So it's like I'm the only one with a webcam at the moment.
The left one.
The right one.
We do the. Do I do the player cam one or do I do the battle map one? Ah, it's the same thing.
Just feel like a space graphic.
Like every 2 minutes, I just switch back and forth for no reason. Because I can. Lower the music stuff. Okay, so how's everyone doing? Welcome back for our official session 1, I guess, since the last one was session 0. Last time around we were doing episodes, this time we're doing sessions.
So fancy.
Upside down. Are you from the down under? Oh. Well, getting started is always the hardest part.
Yep.
I think I might be coming in a little louder than everyone else. Let me turn off the gain. See how that looks.
Sound check.
Yep.
I think that's better.
Hello.
Okay, so off to a great start. We're already skipping weeks and missing games. Probably should have started this after Christmas.
Maybe. Doesn't matter.
It's all good.
Yeah. We'll get into the swing of things. All right, so yeah, I think I'm gonna go to the battle map. At least they can see a little more what's going on.
It'll give us a few sessions anyways to, really figure out our characters.
Yeah, I mean we gotta work out the kinks. Gonna be technical difficulties all over the place, I'm sure. So, does anyone remember what we were up to last time?
I think we ended where Webb and Tinktach were in an alleyway, and James and Malcolm were still in a basement.
Right. You guys had met in a tavern and all left for the night around the same time and stumbled across this poor soul that was webbed up like a fly in a spider's web, nearly killing him, freeing him. And he told you about being kidnapped and being in a cellar. And you were able to track down where he was being held, found a Rubik's Cube of Death.
Yeah, ouch.
And I believe you successfully solved the puzzle.
Yes. Yes, I solved it. It took me a little while, but I did it.
Oh, the poor screwdriver.
Yeah, y'all owe me a wrench.
I think Tink is still a little
No,
upset.
actually, that was taken care of. Somebody gave me some shins.
Yes, that was me.
Yeah.
I got knowledge of the Slidkin.
Slidkin. Oh, do you
Yeah.
have the creature card?
You need to see the image again. I can show the image.
It's Lidikin.
Yeah, that creepy
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. Get it out.
Looks like it's out of a Benicio del Toro movie.
Hmm.
Wrong thing, but that's okay. Oh crap! Oh, now I'm clicking all sorts of buttons.
That it just creeps me out so much. It's so hard to look at.
I think it's
Have you ever
supposed
heard
to.
of Have you ever heard
Oh,
of trypophobia?
what is it like? A thing with 1,000 mouths all over it? A phobia?
Almost.
Yeah.
Fear of
I
small
would-
holes.
It's
Yeah.
pretty normal.
It's
Ugh.
real
Oh.
insane.
Ugh. I have to say, I do find a lot of Cypher System and Numenera art so creepy.
Yeah,
It's kind of the whole. It's like sci-fi.
Ugh. It's kind of their
Yes.
shtick.
There we go.
Creep.
That's what I was supposed to have
Okay.
shared.
Okay, well, I'm closing it. Again. Don't quit.
You keep popping it up. Oh, but did you see this one?
Stop it.
but yeah, they definitely dive into the weird, and their Invisible Sun, I think, is worse. That definitely dives over the deep end of what I can tolerate. I'm not going to play the the Invisible Sun. That's a little too wild for me. But to get back into this, yeah, so I believe only Adam's character, James, got the Slidkin biology imprinted into his brain. So
Yes.
you have advantages against them. Let's see.
Asset to attack, I think it was.
The case. And also, we went a little long, so people jumped out before I could remember to tell everyone. For getting that far and solving the puzzle box, everyone gets 2 XP.
That's on sheet, right? That's not in cards.
Right,
Character
that's
XP.
yeah, that's advancement XP.
Okay, cool.
Cool.
And yes, so it's late at night. The recap, it is looking at the calendar. If I can find it. So many handouts. It is the 6th day of the month of rebirth. Yeah, it's probably moving right into the wee hours of the 7th. It's very late at night, and we have Tink and Webb out in the alleyway, and James and his counterpart are still in the cellar. And what is I gotta get these names down. Malcolm had found a sheet of paper that's going to need some rubbing done to it. He thinks it might have some hidden information on it. You found a whole, I think it was 25 pieces of very fancy paper and the empty ink jar, or a jar of ink, was also found. So, what do y'all wish to do? It's back in y'all's hands.
Tink is just trying to catch their breath outside. They just had the bejesus scared out of them psychically by a terrifying creature. And they are rethinking their plans.
Does anyone know what the Slidkin looks like except for James?
No. You got the image. One of your fails, you got a very disturbing image sent to you, and it also hit Tink, which caused Tink to run out of the cellar.
And Webb hurt himself with it.
So James is the only one that knows what they look like.
Okay. That's terrifying. Okay. Just wondering. Um, what else is in the cellar? Can we search around?
Y'all did a pretty intensive search last time, and there was a
Really?
chair with some rope. I think there was a little bit of blood in there. There was a makeshift table made out of some planks of wood, um, laid over some barrels and crates, and on that table is where you found the Rubik's Cube of Death, the fancy paper, and the ink bottle. And that
I'm
was
gonna
it.
take some of the fancy paper. There's just a pile of paper, right?
Yeah, it was just a stack of 25 very, very fancy, very fine paper, expensive paper.
Okay, I'm gonna scrape up some of the blood and put it on the paper, and then fold the paper closed.
Right? Easily done.
Maybe I can have someone, like analyze it, possibly back at the headquarters.
Right? And Malcolm will hand over, because he was the one that found the paper with the indentation, the sheet with the indentation. He's going to give that to you and suggest that you do a rubbing of it. And he's going to state that he's calling it a night. And if you need him, you know how to get in touch with him, and he's headed home.
Sounds good. I think that's a good idea. I'll head home for the night too. I'll go and tell Webb, and I don't think I've met Tink yet, right?
Nope.
I mean,
Yeah.
we kind of
Y'all,
met
well,
around the table.
yeah. Y'all shared a meal, kind of. Well,
I don't think we.
Webb
introduced-
partook of their meal.
Yeah, I remember that.
We're out in like the alley. There's like a Tink's hiding behind a crate or something.
Right.
What's in the crate?
Trash at the moment.
Trash. He's gonna pick through it a bit. Try and find something.
And
He's not super hopeful, but hey, man.
yeah, a lot of moldy fruit.
You want any? He hands
Uh.
one in Tink's direction.
No, no, thank you. What was that thing?
The orb?
I don't know. It's just something terrifying.
Don't know, man. I got out of that too.
Okay, well, you guys, good luck with that stuff there. That's pretty scary. I think I am going to try and walk it off, shake it off, and check in with uh the Amber someone or find a gate first thing in the morning.
Did Tink mention to everyone else why they were in town?
She mentioned to Webb, I know. I don't know about anyone
Yeah,
else.
talked about coming for the caravan. receiving the call and coming for the caravan, just because caravanning is kind of right up their alley.
Say, what's it take to get through that portal?
I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure they're just gonna um assign assign you somebody to the caravan, and you'll go through when your assigned group goes through. I'm not sure. I just got into town. Was gonna check it out in the morning.
Um, Webb, you you might be able to help with tracking down who Tink needs to talk to. You do know that you've been hearing a lot of talk around town about a big speech, something big going to be going on on the 11th of this month.
Today's the 7th, you said?
Well, yeah, it's about to be the 7th. It's the end of the 6th, beginning of the 7th.
Right. Well, I don't know if they're moving anyone in yet. They got the big speech happening on the 11th.
Okay. Thanks.
Do I see them in the alley? Can I go towards them?
Oh yeah, they're easy to find if you walk out.
I'll go towards Webb.
Yeah, some kind of big speech. I give a direction as to where it was probably going to be. Them.
Oh, thanks. I just kind of nervously look over at James as he walks up, kind of.
And if I remember right, Tink doesn't have anywhere to stay yet. The inn or the tavern that you guys are at did not have housing. It was basically just a pub.
What's the news, James?
Um, well, I found out what we're looking for. It's a slidkin. I don't know if you've heard of those. They look
Have I
pretty
heard
nasty.
of those?
What was that, Webb?
Have I heard of a Slidican before?
Uh, give me. Let's give me a difficulty 5 intellect. If you got some sort of knowledge or history skill, that might help.
Nope. I'll just roll. Hey,
Nice.
got it.
Off the night the right way. You've heard of some rumors. More like boogeyman fairy tale type stuff of these strange creatures that delight in games of trickery and death.
Yeah, I've heard of them before.
A lot of vagueness.
Yeah, that
Why, what'd you find
cube,
out?
after I finally cracked it, gave me some insight into what they are. Brian, how much do I actually know? Said I know a lot about their biology now.
Yes, it pretty much said that it was just basically like a still image, like when you go to the doctor's office and you got that diagram of the human body. It's pretty much that with the name. So
I don't really know much about them as far as their history is concerned, but I do know like what they are and how they are made up biologically, but that's about it.
Interesting.
And I have this letter that Malcolm found. He said if I do a rubbing on it, I might be able to reveal what information was written on it from the person who pressed real hard on the top sheet. I don't know if you have any skills that might help with that.
No.
Pretty
Closest thing I have is. Yeah, no, I don't have anything.
pretty much it's not very challenging. It's just needing some charcoal.
Ah, okay.
Not hard to find.
Can make some if we need to.
The nearest fireplace.
Still hunking around this coal.
Tink, can you give me a perception check, please?
I got a spatula. Will that help?
While they're standing around talking, Malcolm came out and he kind of like waved and just went down the street. And while you're watching him walk off, Tink, you notice that there seems to be a shadowy shape staring out or at in y'all's general direction in a alleyway on the opposite side of the street.
Is this in any way, shape, or form near the building that they just came out of?
No, it's across the street.
Okay. I'd so as soon as I see this shadowy form, I'm just kind of like, okay. So sounds like you guys have a really good start on the stuff you were looking into. Um, and good luck. I hope you catch your Slitherpin or Slytherin or whatever that terrifying thing is. And pew! I'm gone.
Just in a random direction.
Um, my plan is to find somewhere to be tonight. So if this is an inn or somewhere that I'm near, I'll pop in.
You don't see anything right off the bat. It seems because y'all traveled for a bit. This is uh, more of a business market district type thing. Like a lot of businesses that's closed for the evening.
Okay. Well, I will just kind of nonchalantly get up and just start walking away, and I will use. You guys kind of see some goggles or some sort of prismatic visual device. Look like it covers my eyes and goes clips in, and then I appear to be surrounded by a couple of duplicates of myself as I start to walk down the street. This is kind of a self-defense device that Tink has grafted on.
Oh, so they're like stuck to your head.
Yeah, they kind of. I take them out and I click them in,
Oh yeah.
and then this kind of prismatic light kind of starts to shine out of him, and then beside me on either side are other tinks, very near tinks. They look a lot like me, but it's kind of like a mirror image sort of effect, you know?
Yep. Webb rubs his eyes and looks down at the root he's been chewing.
I say, I see it too. I don't think it's that.
Or maybe you should have some of this then.
Yeah, might help. After the images I saw, might be a good idea. Give me some of that root.
Hands you like a little piece. I'm getting low.
Thank you. You got a place to stay tonight?
Yeah.
I know you don't normally stay in town very often.
Living out the back of that inn.
Ah, okay.
All right, so Tink, give me a just be a difficulty 2 intellect check to see how long it takes you to try to find you someplace.
Yeah, and I am just like keeping, like, almost totally looking through the side of my eye to keep an eye on that shadowy region that I saw.
It
Just walking away.
it watched you head off. You see it kind of shifted to follow you,
Mm-hmm.
and almost seemed like it was about to head out, but it noticed the other people still in the street and kind of slid back into the alley. Why don't I get a perception check from Webb and James as well?
Site-based? Yeah.
What's that?
This is site-based, right?
Yeah, it'd be an intellect. Yeah, yes, sight, perception.
What difficulty?
Very. Let's go with the difficulty 3.
3.
I don't notice anything.
James is feeling the effects of that root quite strongly.
Yeah.
Probably doesn't take it too long.
So yeah, Webb, you notice Tink acting a bit strange. Though
Looking off to the side a bit.
Tink seemed to have been acting strange for a while though, and you're trying to puzzle them out, and you notice Tink eyeing off to the side, and you notice the movement in the alleyway as well.
Hey, you! And I walk over to it.
Yeah, the minute you start yelling, and it recedes into the alley, and you hear the sound of running feet.
No, wait! I just need a couple bucks.
Yeah, they're bolting. Are you gonna give chase?
I'll like go into the alley and then start puffing and crouch over.
Yeah, they're gone unless you want to do some searching.
Just put my hand on the wall. Catch my breath.
Do I hear the footsteps as well, or?
Well, you heard him yelling and saw him go running off to the alley.
Sorry, what was that?
You just you hear a lot of noises in the background. You heard Webb yell and run off towards the alley, and then get out of breath really quick.
I'll run with
Ah.
him.
And you
If I see anything, I'll keep chasing after it.
give me a, and you don't see anyone in the alley, but if you want to do some searching, you could do some searching.
Did you leave anything
Sure.
behind?
Yeah, if you want to give a search, see what you see.
Okay. Just like a straight
have,
roll or difficulty?
Solving
Yeah.
puzzles, element of chance, and seeing underlying patterns. Would element of chance work for searching?
No, this
That'd
is not
be-
really a chance type thing.
I beat a
Yeah.
difficulty 6.
Yeah, Webb, you notice like right off there's a nice little pile of apple cores.
Oh my
and
god, yes.
other eating fruits, like someone was standing around for a while and munching down.
Having a stakeout.
Possibly.
I grab all of them in the pocket.
All right, you got a lot of starting to decompose apple cores.
Is Webb a trash wizard? A trash
Webb-
sorcerer?
Webb might be a trash wizard.
I'm just gonna finally name him Oscar. So you're now staying in a different alleyway, and James, you just see Webb stuffing his pockets with already eaten fruit.
I hand him one of them just out of I don't know what the word is, like generosity, I guess.
Yeah.
Just like, yeah, I guess you can have one. And then I'll look
no,
at
it's
back
fine. You can
towards
keep it.
Tink. Oh, sweet. I'll stop munching on it. Where's Tink at? Do I still see Tink?
No, Tink's gone down the street.
I think that guy was following Tink.
Yeah, I'm just moseying down the street now, thinking I'm clear of all the danger and that I am resuming my journeys before I met these crazy people. And I'm gonna look for a place to stay and maybe get, a little bit of nighttime noodles and call it a night.
And not knowing your way around, you get a little, especially how things always look different at night. You get a little turned around, but you do eventually find yourself back at the tavern, and the people there are closing up, and they seem a little disgruntled. They don't seem to have a very good opinion of all the people, all the outsiders come into town, but they feel a little bad for you, and they offer to let you kind of same situation that Webb has. They let you have a pallet in the stable.
Can I take a look around their place and see if all of their equipment looks to be like in good working order, or if there's something that maybe is not working? Looks like it
You
could use an
give me
engineer's touch.
give me a difficulty 3 perception check. He's probably going to be a little put offish if you're like trying to peek in, but that doesn't deter you at all.
Just glancing around as they're talking. This is a technique I've used frequently in securing kind of nicer quarters and maybe a future relationship. Yeah.
Yeah,
Fix
he
things that will need fixed. Yeah.
you keep trying to like talk to him and peer around him, and he keeps like trying to shuffle. Like, why are you checking out my place? What are you doing? Starting to get a little worried about you, but that doesn't deter you. You're actually able to notice that he has a a, a very similar uh, beer tap machine that you've seen before, and it does look like it could use a little TLC.
So I say, well, I imagine you've had a long day's work, sir, and a lovely fresh beer would be something you'd really like to have right about now.
Well, I don't generally drink my own wares. I save that for the customers. But like I
I see.
said, if you want the stable deal, it's not the best accommodations, but the city's kind of full at the moment. And you can stay there for the night since you got in a little late. Then tomorrow you can find yourself a better place to stay.
It's very generous of you, sir. I think I'll take you up on that. But if you ever need the extra income from a functioning beer tap, just let me know. I think I can take care of that for you.
Well, it has been leaking a lot. I tell you what, you you come in bright and early in the morning, and if you can fix it up, we'll see about getting you some free breakfast.
Sounds good. I make my way to the aforementioned pallet.
Probably see Webb's pallet when you go out there. Be all surrounded by plants of all sorts of different kinds.
Yeah, it's you go in. He leads you over, and he motions over, and this side's spoken for, but anywhere over here you can just make yourself at home, and you look over to the side, and it's kind of like a little bit of a child's fort kind of got built up. You got strings everywhere and blankets draped over, and there's plants everywhere, and a little makeshift table with some scattered notes and
Some
pretty
like alchemical tools and stuff like
yeah.
that.
Yeah, I was about to say like a little mad scientist little section with probably something that's still bubbling and smelling foul off to the side.
Plants that
Mm.
will probably look pretty well kept, so you probably might not guess that it's Webb's place.
Hmm. Can I understand what any of these tools do or anything? Am I able to suss out that this is an alchemist's setup?
I think with your right training, yeah, you can probably identify a good bit of it.
I'm note to self. I'd like to meet this individual and head over to my pallet and begin to make myself.
All right, and easily bed down for the night. And James and Webb, what are y'all doing? You're staying in the alleyway with a bunch of apple cores.
What's the plan? You got
Turn in for the night and see if we can find whoever went down this alley.
Should we check the corpses tomorrow then?
Yeah.
All right. I'll see you again, James. And Webb will head
Yeah.
off.
Nice seeing you. I'll head on home.
All right, easy enough. Nothing special happens, and Webb, you get to your pallet, and you see how fast is Tink pass out? Do anything special, or you just going straight out?
No, I'm settled in. I'm pretty comfortable. How comfortable Tink allows themselves to get depends on how protected this area is where the pallets are. And then there is a stranger also sleeping here tonight. So kind of writing in their journal and maybe studying, just reviewing some plans for you know, a new project. Just stuff to get their mind off of the day and try and get to bed.
Right. And Webb, how stealthily do you come in? What's your manner of
Not at
approach of
all.
coming home?
Not at all. He stumbles in, probably like half asleep, and then he'll like do some alchemy in the morning.
Right, so yeah, you're in the middle of
Probably stays up
notes.
until like 6 a.m.
You're in the middle of note writing, and you hear a loud bang, and probably stumbles over a bucket that was in the half shadows he didn't see, and you hear a lot of cursing and stomping, and s- nearly scares you to death again. And then in comes Webb.
So I'm just like, just kind of quietly, of course, of course. And then I just turn anything I have that's showing any light or anything off, and pull my blanket over me and roll the other way, just huddle up.
You probably hear him come in. He talks to all of his plants, every single one.
That's great.
Does he have special names for them?
Probably not names, but he definitely cares about them. And he might pick like a few leaves off some and make a little concoction that helps him sleep.
All right. And the next day rolls around. How bright and early does everyone get up?
Bright and early at 2 p.m.
I'm
Tink,
probably up whenever the sun comes up or earlier.
yeah, Tink heads out early, try and get out before Webb wakes up, and and get to work on that beer tap.
Uh, from the sounds of it, very easy enough to do. You glance over, you probably see that he's just as messy of a sleeper as he is in the everything else. Limbs akimbo. And yeah, you're able to meet up with the tavern keep, and like I have a faulty beer thing set up, but give me the saying hasn't seen any attention in quite some time. So give me a difficulty 4 check, whatever you deem, whatever skills you have for crafting. Yeah, you have engineering. Yeah, I was about to say it would probably be that. Yeah, it takes you. So that's 6. Okay, so yeah, it takes you a couple hours. It's not very in depth or complicated work. It's just a little cumbersome getting her to all the stuff. Like he obviously isn't engineer minded and had a bunch of stuff in the way that you had to move and get to. So just a little time
I just
consuming.
scrape off like 3 layers of scent seal that he just kept putting on there to just cover up the old problems.
Yeah, and it looks way better than it did before. And
Right. I've got it all done like your most attentive plumber or engineer you've ever had. All the wires are all like color coded and bound together and beautiful, and yeah. If Tink is anything, Tink is a fastidious engineer.
and he is the owner is very pleased. Like, oh wow, that looks better than it did when they installed it. Well, I say you definitely earned yourself a hero's feast this morning. What would you like?
Ah,
Anything.
just some noodles and beer. Be great, sir.
Easy enough done. Have a seat and I'll get it out to you very shortly. And he goes and bustles about. And James, what are you up to?
I'm gonna go up to the office and do a rubbing on this paper and go check out the bodies.
All right, you're gonna go solo. I'm pretty sure, knowing Webb, you know their penchant for sleeping in.
Yeah, well, I mean, the plan was for Malcolm to go with me, but seeing how Josh isn't here to play him, yeah, I'll be solo.
Right. So yeah, you go back to the office. I don't know in your notes. Did you have a name picked for your supervisor?
Jimmy, my name is James. Jimmy's not a good name.
That would get confusing.
Yeah, no kidding. I don't know if I had one for his direct
Sharon.
supervisor.
Sharon. That's a great one.
It's possible.
Yeah, we'll go with Natalie.
Natalie.
Yep.
All right. Notes. All right, so you actually get to work right around the same time as Natalie, and they look over to you and say, "Ah, James, good morning to you. How goes that investigation? You know the mayor, he's been getting on my case. I really want this dealt with as quickly as possible."
Yeah, the mayor. Yeah, it's going. I think I've got a lead. I just gotta check out a few details, double check a couple of facts, and be on my way working on that more today. Worked late on that into the night, so hopefully we got some things going on.
I think your mic might need to be unplugged and plugged back in. It's getting some popping there. Anyone else hearing that, or is it just me still?
Yeah, no, I got it.
Okay. And she's like, "Oh, a lead? Do tell, what happened last night?"
Hello?
So,
James took a helicopter into work. It did kind of sound like that. And considering the headphones that he's using, that wouldn't be that off. No, it still seems to be a
so
little. Yeah, it's getting robotic-y now.
Oh, a second.
Almost feels slowed down.
Sometimes those connectors just have a hard time. All right, so what is Webb's plans since we're waiting on James to come back?
Well, he'd probably wake up midday or mid-afternoon, unless Tink's tinkering wakes him up. In which case he
No.
would tend to his plants very carefully, and then head out and get breakfast. Late afternoon breakfast.
Does it still sound funny?
Nope,
Nope.
you're all good.
Okay.
Yeah, give before we get back to James, let's get a perception check.
He's
With
he's a trash wizard. He's probably a little skitterish.
with advantage because of the smells. The owner is cooking a little earlier than he normally does. Getting Tink's meal
Well,
ready.
okay, so a smell perception check.
Yeah.
Which difficulty?
Just a roll.
Okay. And so I would be one high because I have advantage.
All right, so yeah, I say that's good enough. Yeah, you would generally be sleeping in, but and you just get into this really great dream dealing with your favorite plants, and then there's like dancing sausages, and then you're like sausages, and then the smell hits you even harder, and you wake up. Just it's kind of like that scene. Um, if you've ever seen the movie A Knight's Tale, where they're laying around talking and the redheaded guy just sits up, pansy cakes or something like that. That's kind of like you. You just sit up and yell sausages.
He's real hungry, but he tends to do his plants first, and then he goes inside.
All right, and back to James. Now that you're back, so yeah, Natalie asked you what happened last night or yesterday, because last time y'all talked, you didn't have any leads, and now you say you have something. She's intrigued. God, now he's really low. Is he low for everyone else?
I thought my headset was messed up.
We got started late because of the audio stuff, and it's still going.
Yeah, Discord.
Yeah, how do I change like the server region or whatever?
Should just be able to. Oh, next to voice connected, maybe.
I say that. My whole Discord.
No, it's still quiet. Because we're on
Like-
East.
Is it under server settings or?
No, you see it down underneath us. There's like the voice connected, and you can see the server connection. I think it's there. Let me double check. Oh yeah. No, you can do it in server settings. It should be just under overview.
Change the central, I guess.
Is that any better?
Still so quiet.
US
Yeah,
Central.
still quiet.
You don't have him turned down for any reason, do you, Brian?
No,
No, it's a Discord
Okay.
thing. Or his headset, at least.
yeah. Any changes I change, like where I click on his name and changing the volume there, it only affects me. If y'all are hearing it, there's something on his end.
Sounds probably conflicting.
We had a Windows update as well a few days ago, and that might have borked things. Like I said, my thing was had the headset turned all the way down in Windows because of their stupid update.
Yeah, I'm on a Mac, so I don't know.
Ugh. I can boost you up some, but it'll try it. Well, he disappeared. I was gonna say try talking, see if it sounds better or if it's like a tin can. Bum. So, as we wait on him to come back, Webb, you do your plant talking, and you hear sounds coming in from the tavern. Probably recognize Tink's voice, and they're having a little conversation.
I rummaged through whatever they left behind on the pallet, and then I head inside.
Oh yeah, no, Tink left nothing behind.
Is that any better?
Oh,
Yes.
yep.
There we go.
Now I got to turn you back down.
I did
Sorry.
that
No,
correctly.
it does make a difference apparently. Huh, Brian? You can turn him up.
Oi. Okay, give a test blast.
Hello.
Yeah.
Better.
Yeah, the only thing I did was turn Discord on and off a couple times.
Yeah. There you go.
Oh, Discord. All right.
Yeah, he'll rummage through, and then he'll leave like something that smells nice, just in case they're stuck here for another night, and then he'll go ahead inside.
Right, so yeah, you'll see Tink finishing up a grandiose meal of noodles and beer.
Just kind of profusely complimenting the proprietor on his noodles, talking about their chewy, their toothsomeness, and their absorbiness, and their elasticity. Just ridiculous about the noodles.
He's beaming with pride and kind of.
Mostly it's an effort to get more noodles in the bowl.
He's happy enough to give you more noodles.
Okay, Tink has their fill in noodles. That's more good deal.
I'm waiting for you to slip up and say your other character's name.
No, the love of, like I said, you can take the noodle out of the adventure, but you can't take the adventure out of the noodle.
And yeah, the proprietor, who will say his name is Dorn.
Darn!
He's like, Webb, you're up early. That's a
I
rarity.
smell food.
Indeed, young. Tink's young, right?
Yes.
Young Tink here fixed the tap.
Just kind of give him a nod.
It was broken?
Troublesome's probably more the word. But it's all as good as new now. So I'm assuming you're wanting your morning grub.
He claps his hands. Yes, please.
Well, I made extra in anticipation, so go ahead and help yourself in the back.
Heads on out. says hello to everyone, grabs a plate.
And Dorn sits down so, young Tink, you said you came from out of town. What brings you all this way?
Oh, well, I'm answering the call from the Amber Pope to help out with the caravan heading through the portal.
Nasty business, that. Always the Pope sticking his nose in.
Oh,
I told
kind
him,
of a
you
little
gotta watch out
shocked.
for that Pope.
Oh. You don't think it's a good idea, the caravan?
Well,
Well,
I mean,
go ahead.
I don't see a problem with getting out of this place, but it's the Pope.
Huh.
It's his mission.
Well, he's always stirring up trouble. Inviting that outsiders into the city. We don't need outside influences. We're already the greatest city in the steadfast. All these foreigners coming in and causing a ruckus. And well, I'm not all that enthused with all these priests. They're always poking their fingers in all the business, all these fangled machineries from the past. It's dangerous stuff, and they always. I mean, look at that Durkham in the center of the city, that huge fortress. Who knows what all sorts of craziness they got going on in there? What kind of terrors they may unleash upon the city. And now they got that portal right there, out in the open. Plum Fool wanted to leave it on all the time. Who knows what we're going to come through there and kill everybody in their sleep?
Tink just has really big eyes, just going, whoa.
You got these two guys ranting off on each other.
Yeah, never heard so much like. This might be the first time Tink has really heard a lot of negativity about the Amber Pope, and then just kind of the two of them playing off of each other, wide-eyed, back and forth like a tennis match, sipping. New info, exciting.
Well, I can't stop your plans. You came from a very long way, but I'd say, young Tink, uh, look after yourself. Don't get in too close with none of them priest types.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I'll keep that in mind, sir.
No trust.
You, are you, do you make things, don't you? Tink says, looking over at Webb.
A dabble. A little bit, yeah. What you looking for? You need medicine?
I don't, no, I just was curious because I make things too, but I couldn't really quite make sense of what you were working with. The materials were different. It seemed almost magical compared to the stuff I do.
Oh no, it's all natural.
Huh. Do you have any experience distilling?
Well, sure.
I just kind of take that information in and go,
I wrote a book on it myself. The whole process, making potions and poisons.
hmm. think is just kind of storing the information because it seems like it may be of use to them later, but they don't want to play their whole hand right
You mean it close to the vest.
now. Mm-hmm.
So Dorn, he leans over to you, Webb, and what's your plans for the day, Webb? You know
I think I'm
your
gonna go check out some dead bodies.
ugh, nasty business. That you have the strangest hobbies. I
Hey
was
man,
I was gonna
something
s-
interesting.
I was going to suggest that perhaps you could point young Tink here in the right direction. They're they're insistent upon getting into this caravan business. You know your way around the
Oh,
city.
oh, sir, I don't know. I was hanging out with those guys last night, and if if you mean that the stuff they deal with, I think is far scarier than the caravan.
Hey, is that speaking of last night, is that guy still following you?
What are you talking about?
The guy in the shadows in the alleyway.
I saw one last night, but I didn't see one following me.
He was certainly looking to. As soon as I approached, he ran off.
Just kind of shivers. Creepy. You're not making the caravan sound unwelcoming, you know. Seems like a pretty good deal. People following me, terrifying monsters, or images of terrifying whatnots and corpses. Caravan's looking like a pretty good option.
A lot of people that go through the caravan might be people that have had problems here,
Oh, lordy.
looking to get away from.
I know. I know, and those prison colonies, they never turn out right.
I mean, if he's looking for numbers, he might just send anyone through.
All right. So as you're finishing up your conversation, now that James, I think your mic is working. Hopefully,
I think so.
yeah. So Natalie was asking about what new info you have.
I think I was talking to her about the device we found in the alley and the guy strung up. Um, saved him, and then he directed us to a basement that we were able to find, and there was a device in the basement, like a puzzle, and I was able to unlock that, and I think possibly Slidkin are involved.
Lidkin.
Yes.
Never heard of them. Is that a new gang?
You're probably better off. No, it's some strange creature, but not unheard of. But that is the lead that we're following right now.
All right. Well, do let me know what you come up with, and the mayor is wanting to get this resolved before the Pope's big speech.
That's the plan.
And I'm probably going to need you to be on security detail that day as well. And it's coming up quick. The 11th will be here before we know it.
Won't be a problem.
All right. Well, you keep up the good work and do keep me abreast of anything that changes.
Will do. I'll go to my office and do that rubbing.
All right. Yeah, you know what? I'm not even going to assign a difficulty to that. That should be fairly simple stuff. It seems like most of the sheet is filled up with a list of names. Actually, let me go back and read the notes. So yeah, it seems like it's full of a list of names, and at the top is a title. It's titled "Guest List," and a lot of the names seem to be marked, have a check mark next to them, or a line through them. And the quality isn't very great because it looks like different degrees of pressure was used to make the writing. But you do get 2 names off of the list. There's a Thelian, Maastri, and Yulon, the seamstress. And I will type those out so you can get the spelling right.
I was just going to ask about that. Those are the Thilian Maestri is one name and Yulon is another.
Correct.
Okay. Do I recognize those names from anything?
Give me two intellect checks. Any sort of history. And you know what? I'll give you 1 asset for like access to like the cop database or whatnot. So 2 separate checks for 1 for each name.
Can I do seeing underlying patterns because I'm trying to make connections between the names?
You can try. You can use that.
I don't know what the difficulty was, but they're both 11s.
Difficulty 4, difficulty 5. Wow, it's the same roll on the bottom. So difficulty 5. You don't get anything on the Yulon name, but the Thelian name seems a little familiar, and you actually do get a ping in the database. They seem to be an local actor that got into they had a little bit of a police issue and a play that he was recently in called A Bit of Revenge. Seems like some of the crowd got a little rowdy, and he had some death threats or something, and the guard had to be called in to kind of keep the peace. A mob had formed up. So you do have an address where you can track down Thelian, but you don't really. Nothing's come up for Yulon.
I'll take it to the captain. Let's see. Hey, Captain. You ever heard of a Yulon?
Um, are you sure the paper?
Yeah.
Well, I would guess that it's a seamstress from what's written on the list, but I'm sure there's probably a whole bunch of them. And we can ask around. I'll definitely put some people on it. See if we can't track down any list of local seamstresses. But nothing off the top of my head comes to mind.
Okay. Yeah, it was just on this list that I got from that basement we were in last night. Just two names: the Thelian Maestre and Yulon.
Thalian, Thalian. Why does that name sound familiar?
Uh, he's actually in our database as a local actor. There was an issue with a play that he was in, or directed, or wrote, or he was involved with, and it apparently incited some violence.
Ah, yeah, I think I recall. Yeah, he's a bit of an ass, if I remember right.
Well, that fits the actor motif.
I was just gonna say that most actors are.
Well, I think that might be someone you may want to look into.
Yep, that's where I was headed this morning.
All right, well, I'll leave you to it. As always, keep me informed.
Will do.
And
Oh,
I hate to say it, but your mic is screwed up again.
Gosh dang it.
It just did it. Just now. It was good for most of that interaction.
Yep.
There was a slight backing bass bit there, but yeah.
And it's like he has the helicopter just waiting. All right, we got a clue. Let's go.
It
Yeah,
sounds
exactly.
I was actually getting like a techno vibe, like a bass bit.
Yeah, a little bit. All right, so I think this would be a good place. I think we've been going for about an hour or so. So let's go ahead and take a quick little break here while he gets himself situated, and we'll pick this right back up.
kitchen.
Aha!
Not the Inquisition.
If it's a pillow that you heard,
All
nobody
right.
expects the Spanish Inquisition.
All right, I think we're back. All right, so what is everyone's plans?
I think we're gonna meet up and look at the bodies.
Uh okay, so yeah, James is going for some cadaver searching. What's Tink's plans?
Sounds like since this is the 7th, there's a few days to kind of kill before any action happens with the caravan. So Tink is probably just gonna quietly follow Webb around.
Well, you
Like
going
even if they notice that Webb totally sees them, Tink's still gonna try and act sneaky.
yeah, you're gonna get the weirdest city tour ever.
Right?
Yeah, he's probably going to head towards wherever James is. He would know probably where he's going. Because he might have done some work for him there before. But it's not a straight path. He takes detours through alleyways all over the city, scouting out some possibly some free shins here and there.
Okay,
Maybe
so
lunch.
Tink, you start seeing some similarities with Webb's movement and like an old tomcat that used to hang around uh, where you grew up. He just seems to be like going from door to door, checking to see if anyone's left any scraps, anyone's got anything for him. He seems to know a lot of people. A lot of people seem to know him. Most of them seem to look favorably on him, but yeah, you get kind of like a stray cat vibe off of Webb's movements.
Do I get any donations?
You get probably a couple of shins.
There's
Alright.
Get
much
some-
to be learned about the workings of a little bit of this part of Key by following and watching this.
You probably get a little more
Like, oh,
spare
there's the
food.
fishmonger.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's fine.
there's the newsstand. Okay, there's the
Probably takes you through a couple shortcuts that you probably didn't realize were there. Oh,
I'll say that you probably meet up around noonish. Say that James has already been on the scene for a bit. And so James, you go to where the other victims were, and they've they got them in storage. Let's see, this is Numenera, so they probably have something very similar to a modern day morgue, just very steampunkishly weirded out little cooler box contraption that they keep bodies in. And yeah, they don't seem to have a lot of similarities. The victims themselves, there was no connections to them. They do have different types of wounds on them, mostly associated with the gadgetry that they were put up in, like all the devices, the traps that they were found that had killed them were different.
Okay, so none of these wounds are the same at all.
You know, it's very like the ME that examined the bodies didn't even think that they were killed by the same person or associated. You know, it's a big place. A lot of people die all the time, but because of the Pope's impending activities, there's been extra pressure put on to get to the bottom of this, and because the frequency and how close together they were, like the people up top are clamoring for a serial killer that needs to be caught type scenario, though the ME seems to disagree.
Okay. So they're all killed by some kind of trap, kind of like the one we found.
Right.
Does any of them have any sort of like toxin or poison?
We'll say that one of them. Can't remember if I said that last time or not, but yeah, we'll say one of them had some poison-induced wounds.
Does it look like a poison that's from around here?
Uh, give me
Or did it come from out of town?
give me a difficulty 3 check.
Hey, Brian, is that any better?
There's no
Uh,
bumping, but yeah, we can hear you.
Said it's still making that bumping noise.
No.
No, it's okay.
Okay.
Turn you up a bit.
All right. Difficulty 3. Roll an effort. Oh. Okay. Maybe
Yeah,
too soon.
it's this seems to be like the earliest body. One of the first killings, so it's kind of degraded to the point where you can't really get a read off of exactly what it was, but you can tell it was poison. You know, like the discoloration of the wounds, the state of the body. You could tell that it was definitely poison. That was the cause of death, but what type, you're not too sure.
It's a confused look on his face. He starts writing down in his notebook. What do you think, Tink?
I hide behind the barrel or whatever, wherever I am, 20 feet behind him, and
There's
look concerned
barrels.
that he just said my name.
Every room has barrels.
I think we're inside of a morgue right now.
Yeah.
I know, I'm hiding behind somewhere, and as soon as he goes, what do you think, Tink? I'm like, I get up, walk over. How long have you known I was here?
All day.
Okay, great.
Nice.
What you got there?
If you can tell from the smell, we got ourselves a cadaver.
Kind of look it over. Normal cadaver, human. Is that what I see?
Yeah.
I think they're dead,
Pokes the
Webb.
wounds.
Probably a little too late to do any surgery on this one. I am trained in surgery, so is there any additional information I can get from looking at this body?
Hmm.
I don't do surgery on other things, mostly just me, or on experimental stuff I do
You
on
do have
bodies.
training in healing, I believe, if I remember right.
It says here,
You have training in healing, so I would allow a
says you are trained in healing, performing surgical procedures, and withstanding pain. You can perform surgeries on yourself, remaining conscious while you do so.
I would allow I'll allow you to give an asset to
To Webb,
Webb if he wants to try that.
I'll suggest maybe where he's look. I'll say maybe that area looks a little unusual.
Oh, I missed
There.
that one.
Ugh.
So it's difficulty 3?
Yep.
Okay. Just barely. Alright, I'll take it. Oh, we rested up, huh? So we would be back at full mostly, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I was like 3 points. But yeah, okay. Cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it like last time, I believe, where we'll just say that full night's rest, you go back up to full.
Okay.
All right, so yeah, it does seem like it was a local plant made poison. Nothing exotic. Very easily found. Probably have a couple of these plants yourself back home.
Probably try and get some sort of smell off it and try and match that with something that I have that's dried off in my pocket.
But yeah, you're pretty sure you know what type of poison this is.
It's from around here.
But other than that, none of the none of the bodies seem to be linked anyhow. But they all died pretty gruesome.
Where's James?
I think I'm there, aren't I?
Yep. But
Well, this one is definitely poison. The rest, not so much.
Interesting. So they just all died differently. Well, that kind of fits with the creature's MO.
Got any ideas?
Well, I've got some leads. We can go visit this man named Thalian Maestre and see what's going on with him. His name was on the piece of paper that Malcolm found.
Oh. I need to show this one where the Pope is too. Points over
Yeah,
the tank.
the Pope will be available on the 11th.
Figured I'd show him where to go.
Yeah, I
I
don't
don't
know
get
if
lost
they
on the day.
will be able to get any closer.
Yeah, James, you would know that like even you yourself haven't had a face to face with the Pope. It's always through agents. He's
Yep.
he's very very closely guarded individual.
Yeah, I think trying to go near the Pope is probably out of question. I might as well just wait like everybody else.
Oh
But
no, that's what I
For the-
mean.
but you
Show them where the
Oh, where the
gathering's
meeting is?
happening. Yeah.
Yeah,
had
that could be done.
James would probably know that there has been a kind of like a registration area set up where the portal is. And like kind of that the whole park area has kind of been like turned into like a staging ground. So all the people that are looking to hire on hands for their individual caravans, and like people want to just like register with the city itself and be assigned somewhere. You know, that's kind of the place to go.
You said this big park?
Yep,
Is it to the north of?
this one right there.
Oh, okay. Is that on the way towards Thelian's place?
Gonna say probably not. He's got a place that is off in this direction.
Ah, is that the theater right there?
Yep.
So, well, it's a bit out of the way, but we can head towards the processing first, and then we'll head towards Thelian.
Sounds like a plan.
Some Yeah, so there's it's actually up on one of the upper levels, higher levels of the city. So as a city guardsman, you might be able to get yourself some access that normally would probably cost quite a bit of money.
You mean a dirigible?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, Webb probably would be turned away flat out if he had tried to approach on his own, and
Yeah.
it would definitely be expensive, probably more than Tink has. But as a guardsman, uh,
Official business.
yeah,
Where's the market? Is that up there as well?
there are several markets.
And where would Webb go to sell a cipher?
There would be a few places that you could go.
He might stop in somewhere on the way, if that's possible.
Yeah, I'll say it's very easily done for y'all to come across a place with where you could sell some stuff on the way. Probably before you even get on the the dirigible. What are
Yeah,
you?
he goes somewhere and he pulls out that unstable core that he got from the trap.
Ah, yeah, just the one from the one that got jabbed by the
The
screwdriver.
screwdriver. Yeah. It's a level 4 and it explodes in immediate range. It's just a grenade, I think, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. Let me see. So you're wanting to sell it?
Yes. Otherwise, I'm gonna get Cypher Sickness.
What level did you say it was?
4.
Uh, yeah, the shop owner looks it over and says, "Ah, very nice, fine. I give you $40, 40 chins."
45.
I don't think it's worth 45. How about we give 42?
All right. That's fine. He pushes it over.
Gives you 42 shins. He sees you, Tink. How about you? You look you got good stuff.
Huh? Oh, I look around. What does this guy have in his shop? That somebody looking for maybe. Yeah, I don't have any money. I can't buy anything. Pretty much don't have anything available for sale right now. So, nope. I just
Ah,
looked
Do you
that
have any
way, sir.
books?
too
Here's
bad.
a book. I need my books.
Does the shopkeeper have any books?
Oh.
He does not have books. He just has a variety of oddities and a couple of ciphers.
What oddities
Yeah.
does he have?
Yeah. Does he have an oddity that's like, uh, water, like a decanter of endless water kind of thing?
So if you want, I wish I had decks of oddities. I don't think I have any decks of oddities.
Oh, should we look up in the book and see if he has it?
So what we'll do is we'll do a roll once I find what page.
Does he have any synth or clay or pliable metal?
No,
Quanchia
Iotum.
this guy
or
doesn't have any
Serverium?
IO. Tell you what he has. Whoever's looking.
Well, we'll take a look.
I'll take a look.
So three rolls from each of you. He seems to have the majority of his
D100.
stock is oddities. Yep. 3
What are we
D100.
rolling?
D100 3 times.
They don't have that on the quick roll.
Okay.
I actually rolled a 1. That's awesome.
All right, so he has
I
let's
don't think that's bad.
let's start at the top. 61. As it's a pair of spectacles that project strange images on the lenses, so the wearer sees things that are not there.
Oh, we got that before. That's a
I
cool
like
one.
the reverse of my graft.
And then 10.
Yeah.
10 is a blob of clay that takes on various mysterious shapes when left alone.
I have that.
It's a pretty common item, as it seems. Then 27, that's a candle that never runs down.
Ooh, that's
Oh,
cool.
that's useful. Yeah, I like that one.
77, a bottle of 24 pills that make you vividly dream about your favorite memory when you next sleep.
Oh yeah, Webb sold them to him.
Webs all over that.
15 is a plastic disc that displays ever-changing but meaningless symbols. And 1 is a crystal that shatters easily, but then instantly reforms. And the shopkeeper's like, yeah, this one is my favorite one. And he just throws it on the ground and it shatters into a million pieces. And they got pop right back. He picks it up and throws it against the wall and it does the same thing. I could do this for hours.
That's cool.
And 58 is a bracelet with a tiny bell charm that rings like a massive bell when intentionally rung.
Ooh.
This one,
That's kind of cool.
we had to keep this one behind special case. It annoys the neighbors.
How much for the candle? Oh wait, never mind. I can make lights.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
How much for the bell though?
Ah, bell, very very special item. Cause lots of problems. I give it to you for 20 shin.
20. That's too much.
I've got 3 in this lump of clay.
I'll give you 12.
12. You insult me. This is very very fine. Very fine. So give me a persuasion check. See if you can talk this guy down. Be
Okay.
a difficulty 2.
Is he marking up my price, by the way?
Are you proficient in
I am. I'm good at detecting falsehoods, piercing illusions or disguises, and seeing past facades.
No, he actually seemed like he was probably cutting the price down a little bit because he
Ooh.
wanted to get rid of it because he's gotten in trouble. It's
Okay,
very loud.
how about 17? And I'll roll for that. Sorry, what difficulty?
Say 2? I think I said 2.
Okay. I always roll low, so I'm going to put effort on it.
Oh,
Nice. I
well,
think I'm the one rolling low tonight.
as he's like, very well. That good deal. Please take.
I like sleight of hand in a bit of that root for him into his
Looks-
hand with the shins.
He looks at you strange. Why'd you give me tree?
You
Tree
don't know
not
what it
shin.
is?
Tree not shin.
I make like a chewing motion.
Eyeballs you skeptically, and he's like, just takes it. Right, so you
What
have
the heck? Another boring day in Key. We'll see what this is. Comp.
so you have the very loud bell. It's a very
Oh.
very tiny. I mean, it makes a way louder sound than it should. It
when
it's
intentionally wrong, right? That was the
yes,
wording.
yes. It's kind of like those teeny tiny Christmas ornament bell things. Looks
It's on a
like
bracelet.
yeah, it just looks like a little cheap plastic bell. It's probably a little larger than your thumb, but you ring it and it's like a church bell going off right over your head. Dong.
Webb covers his ears and then rings it.
Like the shopkeeper, no, don't do that down the street. Enough trouble with cops. No, go away. Don't do that. How about everyone else? Anyone else want anything?
So,
Tink's
I'll trade you my
pretty
lump of
broke.
clay for that crystal thing. That's kind of cool.
What is your lump of clay?
He's already got one. It's the
Same thing.
a blob
Yeah.
of clay that changes shape when no one's looking.
They can do it together.
So it's a lump of clay that he already had, right?
Yeah.
Now his lump of clay won't be alone. He'll have another lump of clay to make shapes with.
He's like, already have one.
I know. I was just trying to change it out for something more interesting.
Tink will step forward and say,
I
maybe yours is lonely. Maybe yours would like a partner.
kind of shrugs. I heard of stranger things with this. I tell you what, I would take your lump of clay and give you discount for lovely explodey crystal. Only cost you 10 shin.
I only have 3. I'm just a poor civil servant protecting you every day.
Good one, good one.
Why if you're trying to really get it, give me a persuasion roll.
Oh, what should I roll for that? Just intellect?
Yeah, if you don't have any persuasion type skills, that would be a intellect, but it's only a difficulty 2.
I've been rolling very low today. Oh, there we go.
Woohoo!
All right, so he'll take all your available shins and your lump of clay and give you the shattering crystal instead.
Yeah, it does nothing.
It might be a good ninja vanish distraction.
Scare tactic. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Doesn't put out a cloud of anything, but it may do like the shrapnel may scare somebody.
No, I just thought it was fun. Just wanted to buy something.
All right, so that is some oddity buying. Yeah, we had a mini shopping episode, and my sister dropped by in the chat briefly. I don't know if she's still hanging out. I don't think I noticed in time. But so
Cool.
you guys are headed down to the park.
Yes.
And we'll say, so I don't remember if we posted where it was somewhere on the outskirts where the tavern was, and we'll just say that over here, kind of the closest tower that you go to get a balloon ride. And it does take a little bit of talking, a little bit of doing to get Webb on through, but you pass your flash your badge, and they kind of disapproving stares at Webb and wave you on. Like, he's under your care. You keep an eye on him.
So rude to the elderly.
I put my hand on my mouth. I say, he's a specialist. I promise.
Got a special stink, that's for sure.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's what comes with him being a specialist.
Flip him off.
And yeah, so you kind of have like your own little pocket on the aircraft. People are trying to stay a little far off from the ruffian looking party that joined them. There's a lot of fancier dressed people on this this ride. People in the upper levels are a little bit of a higher society than what's down below. And is this the first time Tink's been on a up in the sky?
This will be the first time Tink's been on something that has all of its feet off the ground. The Umbrian caravans often do have these very large insect type creatures that carry, which is get high up in the sky, but not actually like flying.
It's very thrilling. It's
Yeah, I'm
it's
studying the structure of this dirigible. I'm like, how are they? I want to figure out how they're making it, how they actually got up off the ground to fly.
yeah, it's a very graceful. It's got a little swaying motion to it. It's got a very steampunkish vibe to it. It has like, strangely enough, it's not like a helium type balloon type thing like we would know today. It has it's made of cloth, but it's shaped and looks like more of a crystal, and it
Huh.
kind of has a low hum to it and a slight glow when they activate it, and then it has like the old steampunkish propeller type scenario that like the device that propels it is obviously completely different from the anti-gravity, the lift device. So it's got more of an actual steam powered type of propeller system. It's got like a big furnace, and you see people shoveling
Huh.
stuff into the as fuel, and pipe system, and a little bit of steam coming off here and there, and when they
Tink is really fascinated by the steam. I mean, just interested. It's not a technique that the Umdarans use much. So, huh?
and yeah, you could probably pester some of the people that working on it, and they would like over their shoulder give you answers for a little bit,
Yeah,
and then
that's how
eventually
Tink
shoo you
spends this
off.
flight. Yeah, exactly. Tink just spends this flight kind of going from individual to individual, asking about the equipment.
Yep, not enough to really give you any info on how to do it yourself, but yeah, you find out that it's definitely a Numenera device that at least no one on the ship wants to go into an in-depth description
Yeah,
to tell you
no,
what
it's
it
not.
is.
Yeah, this is more for flavor. This is not for
Yep.
actually trying to be able to build one. Yeah.
And so y'all take it's just a short like little 2 minute trip that ends up going over over to this platform. This area connected to that tower is raised up high, and it's just this big open, almost like a dock, but for the aircraft. There's all sorts of types of aircraft parked here, and that big open space is just got all sorts of activity where goods are laid out and they're being prepped, taken on and taken off airships, and yeah, it's just big supply chain going on here. And from there, it's just y'all can walk. There's people that are providing carriage services, like city taxis type things, Uber drivers, whatever. However
I
y'all
mean,
want.
unless James funds it, then Web will walk with his police presence.
The dirigibles are probably the best I can do.
Web's fine with walking.
Yeah, let's walk.
So yeah, it's a little bit of a jaunt. So we say about an hour or so. You can get to the square, and for it to be in a smaller area, it almost has the same amount of activity as where y'all got off the airship. There's a lot of temporary stalls set up. A lot of impromptu companies have formed, and yeah, there's people, lines of people that are like signing up, and people walk around that are hawking, trying to get people to join their caravans, and you see a few random priests walking around, kind of overseeing it. There's some guards, not the same guards from James's area. These are the middle tier, the higher society guards. Different
Automatons?
yeah, different district, different chain of command. It's on you. What do you want to do? Who you want to try and go after?
Let's wait for Tink. See what Tink wants to do.
Oh, Tink's just been following. This is totally your guys'.
This is it.
This is his investigation.
No,
we brought you to where you wanted to be.
Oh.
This is the registration.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll walk up and I'll hey, Tink Tatch, I'm Darren Caravaner, reporting to answer the Amber Pope's call.
Yeah, there's just
I'm
you're standing in the street and there's
capable
just
engineer.
people walking
Is there a
all
booth
over
or
you.
something somewhere?
Yeah, there is several.
I'll go up
I
to one
would
of the guards.
I'd recommend finding one that's not with the Pope. Find like a caravan owner.
Oh yeah? Okay.
So
Just tries to find somewhere that looks like a registration booth or somewhere and march straight up to it.
Web will try and look out for that.
All right.
Make sure they're not like with the city, like they're ones coming in from outside.
Everybody that's looking, give me a perception check, just a straight roll.
I have a bonus on this because I'm trained.
Okay.
So difficulty 5.
Difficulty 5 and a difficulty 4. All right, so there's some extremely long lines on a couple of places. So it's kind of like going to like a Comic-Con or a PAX, and you you see something that you really want to do, but there's that line's going to take you days, and you begin to wonder whether or not it would be worth it. And you see a couple that are a little smaller, a little more ramshackle, and as you're standing around, trying to decide where to
Team
go.
goes to the one with the absolute shortest line. There is no discretion,
All right.
just a short line.
So you're walking over to the shortest line, and you're having to weave around, and yeah, you start walking. The clearest path probably would have been near some of the Eon priests that are roaming the area. And Webb, you said you were looking out for them, so I imagine you probably like try to steer Tink
Scout.
away from them.
Yeah, we'll take a detour.
And as you do that, you kind of bump into someone that was kind of going in the same direction. And I need to prep for this. Forgot what the name of the thing was. So it's a person that's walking with a beast. It looks a little like this. And
Yeesh.
yeah, that thing is it's probably about oh god. Not golden retriever. It's probably slightly larger than like golden retriever.
Oh, it's not that big.
Oh, he's a little boy.
It's
Little fella.
oh god, name of the dog. So it's a medium-sized dog. And it's way bigger than like a cocker spaniel, but it's a
What, like a Labrador?
God, my mind went blank, but yeah, it's about on par with like a wolf.
Okay. Wolves are big.
It's not like the big wolves, but it's somewhere in between. It's covered in these very sharp porcupiney frills, and like where the animal is, it's giving a little bit of it's got a little bit of a birth. People are trying to avoid it, and there's a individual walking next to it, and because of you trying to avoid the priest and the people trying to avoid the creature, kind of led you to kind of bump into her, and she stops, and the creature stops and looks over at you, and she's dressed she fits in with the upper class crowd. It's definitely fine clothing, but it's sturdy, and it's kind of a robe, and it's not brightly colored, but it's obviously of a fine material, but it's sturdy for like travel wear. And I don't turns around and face you all and says, "My apologies. I did not see you there." So, yeah.
Well, who's this?
You asking her for her name or the creature?
The creature.
Oh, that is just my lord and master. He keeps me out of trouble, don't you know?
attempt to pet him.
Yeah, you get a gives you a stern look and a growl, and she pats him on the shoulder. Now, bully, that is not the way to treat our new friends. I have to apologize for him. Large clouds makes him cranky.
Yeah, me too.
What brings you around? Are you here for all of the festivities?
No, I'm here to sign up for the caravan. Going through the portal. Answering the call of the Amber Pope.
Little one,
Hi.
you want to join the caravan, you say?
Yeah, I just told myself that one day. So here I am.
Well, what what skills do you have to for such a dangerous and ambitious endeavor such as that?
Oh, I got skills. Don't you worry. Um, I can I can fix just about anything.
But as you're talking, she starts walking slowly around you, eyeing you up and down. Maybe reaches out and
Okay.
touches you on the
Oh
shoulder,
yes. As soon as she touches me, I start walking away. Do 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 do
and
do.
the uh the creature is like right in front of your face,
Ah! Huh.
just
Uh,
giving you a very intense squint.
bring my glasses down. Clink, clink.
It kind of rears its head back and does kind of like a double take back and forth that makes the lady chuckle. It's like, oh, I'm sorry if I uh startled you there, dear. I was
Huh?
just trying to get your measure.
Yeah,
Just so happens I'm running a caravan and looking for people to join up.
oh, I see. Uh, it looked a little like you were looking for something to feed him.
Oh no, he looks more scary than he is, really.
Oh, uh-huh.
Have you not seen one of these creatures before?
N- yeah, even if I have, it's being up close to one, and yeah. So, why are you here to answer the call of the Amber Pope?
You everyone give me with a difficulty 3 perception check.
What kind?
Perception?
Yeah, I mean like sight.
Yeah.
Okay. Just because I'm trained in sight perception checks, not other types. Two.
One from Tink. Or did Tink already do one?
Yep. Got a 19.
Ah. So yeah, James, you hear a snort from the creature right around the same time that Tink mentions the Pope, and Tink, you being a little closer to the creature, you definitely see and hear the snort, and you see a very brief flicker of almost look like anger go across the woman's face before it
Oh,
fades back into a smile.
Kind of like the same thing she sees when she mentions the Pope around Webb.
No,
No?
a little more intense.
Okay.
And she kind of chuckles and, oh no, I had definitely not associated with that one. No, this is my own endeavor. Me and my husband have been on a quest of discovery for some time now, and this portal is very intriguing and very along the same lines as our research. So we are looking for individuals to help us go in and possibly set up a permanent settlement somewhere. We think that what we are looking for would be on the other side of this marvelous portal.
Researchers.
Indeed.
What are you researching?
Well, I can't give away all my secrets on the first encounter, but it's of the Numenera kind.
That's vague.
Well, we are only just meeting, aren't we?
Fair.
So how about
This is
you?
to-
Are you looking to join the young one?
Maybe. Still thinking.
What skills would you bring to my endeavor?
I'm a trained forager and alchemist.
Alchemist, you say? Oh, how delightful. And foraging would be quite useful in the wilds.
how much do you pay
Oh,
since you were sizing me up,
straight to business.
estimating my value?
Uh, I got a little sidetracked. Did you tell her what your skill set was?
Yeah, I'm an engineer. I said I can fix just about anything.
Engineer. Yeah. All right, I presume. They will be very useful, especially if we find a settlement location. Well, room and board will definitely be provided, and especially if our forager comes along. We'll definitely be making sure that you have plenty to eat and drink along the way. We have quite a bit of that store set up. As for our other payment, well, I guess that depends on whether or not you're looking to just make the trip of discovery or a eventual settling into the settlement. But
Okay, thank you.
we can see.
Bye. I don't Tink is not eager to just jump in with this lady. She from Tink's culture, this is answering a call of the Amber Pope, and that look of anger was like, oh, sorry, didn't mean to trigger you there. Oh, okay. Tink's kind of
Kind of,
uneasy with this character.
and she's kind of just
Tink.
standing there
This
with,
is it.
and she just kind of like about to start spitting out numbers, and she's this. Well, okay then. If you want to talk to me later, I'll be around.
Okay, we'll look for your ball.
The Frio de Ball. It'll probably be pretty easy to spot.
Or smell. Look over at Webb.
Do I know what the creature is?
Give me a difficulty 5 intellect check. Like if you have any like animal handling or naturey skills that might help.
Not not on sheet, just in backstory. So I'll just roll. Nope.
Would I know what it is just from knowing what animals are allowed in the city?
Um, same thing. You could do a roll. I would say that you would probably have an asset to know of people registering animals, but maybe not so much exactly what the creature is.
What's the difficulty? Or it doesn't matter?
It's a 5.
Oh, okay. Nope.
You rolled a 5.
I totally did. Rolling hot tonight.
Think this is
So
it.
yeah, you don't know what the creature is, and you might be a little tempted to ask her just to see her registration forms and make sure it's safe because it doesn't seem to be like on a leash or anything.
Yeah, I'll do that. Ma'am, you have registration forms for that creature?
And she kind of gives you like this very languid, sultry look in your direction. And who might you be?
James Averill. I'm with the city guard.
She puts out her hand to kind of daintily be handshaked.
I do that.
It's always a
Yeah.
pleasure to meet one of the city guard.
Yes, ma'am, it is.
My name is Eliana. And of course here, and she digs through some papers and provides registration. We should have everything in order here, and as I'm sure you know, any great endeavor as this is a ton of paperwork, and we've tried to make sure all the I's and T's are crossed.
Yes, ma'am, that's true.
She
Just trying to make sure people seem to be giving you a wide berth because you don't have a leash on your pet.
well, he's very less of a pet and more of the bodyguard variety.
I can understand that. It's better safe than sorry.
He'll definitely be no trouble, I assure you. Isn't that right, boy? She kind of pats him on the shoulder and gives you a look. Kind of squints its eye and then looks up at her. And does a little dog shake. And well, I see. It seems that the little one seems anxious and ready to get on. So I'll bid you good day. And do decide to come back and see me if you want to go out. I guess the city guardsmen won't be going on the endeavor themselves, will he?
I go where I'm assigned, ma'am. If the governor wishes me to go, then that's what I'll do. There are actually quite a few guards that are going out for protection purposes.
Yes, it's going to be quite the adventure. Well, I'm sure we will all benefit from protections of someone quite as sturdy looking as you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Have a good day and stay safe.
you too. And she heads off. And she actually, you see her going to, wasn't the shortest line, but it was like one of the almost one of the shorter lines, but it wasn't the shortest line. She goes, and that seems to be where she's set up shop.
Think that one's good. She's not associated.
Why don't you like the Amber Pope?
He only cares about his image and being in power.
But I hardly knew her. I I just I just I think I'll just get registered and get some information. I don't know. Isn't there a speech on the 11th?
Yep.
So there's no real hurry to pick anyone right now, is there?
Is that going to be here as well, in the same place?
Yes. I've had you
Do
can
we
see off to the side. Some of the hustle and bustle that's going on is like a impromptu stage is being built up.
Do we know where the portal is?
It is actually this white looking blob right there on the map.
I missed that.
At this very very hard to see on the map the blob right next to the green.
Oh, okay. That's the. Are we there now?
Yep. Yeah, you can
Okay, so we
see
can
it,
probably do it,
and it
but it's
has
not open.
yeah. There's a lot of the fancy guards, and there's definitely more of the Eon priests over in that vicinity. It's currently shut down, but it's just this stone and synth looking archway. Looks like it.
Well, I'll point it out to Tink if they're not sure, or if they don't know what it looks like.
Whoa.
It's
So
it's
that's it, huh?
and it's pretty huge. Like you could have a couple of wagons abreast go through it at one time. So it's what is that in Paris? The Bastille or whatever, that big archway. Kind of
Steel? Yeah.
yeah, kind of like that.
Well, that's amazing. Thank you for showing me how to get here.
Right. So
I
you trying to approach anyone else, or y'all gonna go over do some investigating, or
Investigating where?
what was that?
Investigating where?
The person that you wanted to talk to.
Oh yeah, we're gonna fly over that way. if everyone's done with the arch and
Thanks, guys. Now I know where it is. I should be able to find it. I'll come back out for the speech on the 11th.
sounds good.
All right. So are y'all headed to the
To,
amphitheater?
Aliens or something.
So y'all can go back and catch another balloon ride. And this one will be a little bit of a longer endeavor. Probably give Tink some more time to suss out some juicy engineering details with the steam engine part. So it'll take you over this way. And from there you can head over to the amphitheater.
Cool.
And so yeah, by now it's probably getting later into the evening. It's still got plenty of sunlight, but it takes a long jaunt, and you get a really good view of the Durkal, which is like a mini city on itself. It rises high in multi levels. Like some parts of it higher than others. It's almost like a city within the city, a fortress style city. And that's Webb and James. Y'all can point that out to Tink that's where the majority of the Eon priests are holed up, and that's where the seat of power that the Pope resides from.
So, isn't that who you work for, James? If they have the power, don't the police work for the people who have the power?
The police work for the city and for the governor. He actually hangs out in a dirigible. I don't know if I've ever actually met him in person. He never really comes down to the ground. He just stays up in his dirigible all day, every day.
Don't change the mic now, because it sounds like we're flying in a dirigible.
Is
Just
it?
keep talking, because it's perfect.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It did have that extra ambiance with it, didn't it?
Is it still doing it?
Yep. That's funny.
You have to narrate the whole flight now. It'll be perfect.
Quick, everyone! We must all follow suit. We must get our radio voices on, so we sound like we're talking in the through an intercom system. We're so high up that we have to wear the headsets.
I didn't hear anything on the mic check. Is it just my voice?
No, your voice sounds like you're talking over intercom. But
weird.
you were having that chopping sound in the background, but it's okay.
Yeah. And slight thumping in the background.
It's all good.
Alrighty.
It seems to have cleared up for now.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
Okay, so yeah,
What's causing it? Must be like some kind of interference or something.
And you had to get an adapter for it, right? It might be something wonky with the adapter.
That's the first time you've had a problem with it, so I don't know.
Yeah, not sure.
And once you get on land, it's another good 30 minutes to an hour fighting traffic. So it's getting close in the evening hours. You probably were able to get a lunch on the airship. They probably had like a little in-flight meal. that was provided, and then you had to fight some traffic. It's not you still got several hours before it starts getting dark, but it seems like it might be show night, and there's a lot of people heading towards the amphitheater.
So what's the go with this guy?
You asking James?
Yeah.
What was that?
Why are we looking for this guy?
His name was on the piece of paper that Malcolm found, along with one other one, Ulan.
Yulan.
Yep, just the two names I was able to get off of there.
You know what? You have a lot of dealings with people, right, Webb?
Mm-hmm.
Give me a
Nice.
difficulty for knowledge check, history, or some sort. Yeah, if you have any social interaction skills or anything that might
Just
help play.
just like insight checks. That's pretty much what I'm good at.
I
Um,
don't think
yeah.
that'd help.
Oh, got it.
Um, you you don't recall the name at first, until and if yeah, when if he mentions seamstress, something clicks with you.
Seamstress.
And you're like, yeah, that name sounds familiar. It's a middle-aged woman, very very simple, not not technically poor, but not super well-to-do. Someone
Maybe
who,
she's bought something off me before.
yeah, someone that you've had interactions, someone you had interactions with in the past.
Okay. Name rings a bell. Was that Yulin? Or was it
Yep.
just okay.
Yep, Yulin the seamstress.
Do I know where they usually are?
Yeah, you know where her shop is. Might not be someplace that y'all can get to today before close of business, but you know where it's at.
We can check that out later.
And as you approach the theater, it's already got a little bit of a line starting to form. And there's some I almost said carnival workers, but yeah, some of the workers are out and about and getting the line in shape, keeping everybody orderly, asking if they have any pre-bought tickets and selling tickets and all that stuff. People off to the side, kind of newsboy style, yelling out.
I try and hear how much a ticket is. If anybody's talking about how much they are.
So yeah, you hear one of the people, actually like a younger boy style, standing on soapbox and just bellowing out the name of the play. Is seems like it's still the same play that James read in the report. A Bit of Revenge at the Rivermore Theater. Come one, come all. See the greatest spectacle of all time at the Rivermore. It's a bit of a revenge, a bit of comedy. It is sure to delight the whole family. Yours for the great price of 2 shins. 2 shins, and you get to see the greatest show of your life. And it doesn't seem to be getting much of a reaction from the crowd. Like, seems like everyone that's there have already heard, and they're just in various stages of patience, waiting for the show to start. What do
So is
you
this
wish to do?
an open theater, like outside?
So yeah, this reddish part is kind of like the entryway. So it's closed off, but you can tell from a distance that it's like a opened up amphitheater. So the red area has both like the entryway where they funnel the people to the seats, and it's closed off so people can't get in for free. But it's also like the stage is also in that area with the backstage area. Probably some concession stands set up.
Well, we should see if we can skip all this and go right to the back to talk to Deli.
Yeah,
Is he,
there's some people you
an
can.
actor?
Yes. Wait to see if James is gonna reply, but yeah, he's an actor. There's some
Okay.
people walking around that you can approach if you wish.
I didn't hear what you said. It cut out on me.
We need to find someone who's got, like, we'll find security, then maybe they can let us in.
Yeah, definitely.
Easy enough. You see some muscled types walking around, eyeballing the crowd. Sees you walk up, and he's like, "The line's back that way. No skipping."
Yeah, I'm not looking for any line. I flashed my badge. I said, I'm here to see Deli and Maestre. I have some questions for him.
Kind of crosses his arms. What did that pompous fool do this time?
Well, that's what I'm looking to find out.
He better not cause the show to be late. Follow me.
Thank you. Your cooperation is noted.
Happy to help. Besides, I want to know what this fool's got into. He causes us any more grief, I'll put a walloping on his head myself. And he leads you back to the dressing room, which is in all sorts of a state of flurry of activity. It's a typical
Backstage passes.
typical backstage showgirl type scenario. People run around in various stages of dress and undress, and costume pieces flying everywhere, makeup stands, and yeah, he leads you to a separate dressing room, has the traditional big gaudy star on it. He pounds on the door. Alien, guards here. They want to talk to you. He opens up the door. Feel free to not be too gentle with him if you have to.
Our pleasure. Thank you.
Who knew theater was such an abusive profession to be in?
No kidding.
They always look so happy on the stage.
Oh, maybe he's not the nicest guy. And yeah, so when you approach, it's for its size, it's pretty lavish in there. It could probably fit three or four people to get to prepare, but it's all for this one dude. He's got all sorts of costume pieces everywhere. He's got this humongous table and mirror with little candle lamps set up over it. So it's kind of like multi-angled, so no matter where you look, you get an angle. You can get all the good and the bad sides at a single glance. And he's currently sitting there, getting ready for the show. He turns around slowly after peeking at you through the mirror. Face squinches up quite a bit when he sees Webb come in.
Is there any security in here?
Not in here. There were several
Excellent.
walking around outside. And he looks you over. I was going to say no autographs, but you seem like you're not quite here for that.
What you trying to say?
I wasn't talking to you, Bush boy.
No, not really here for the autographs.
Do you have anything
He's
lying
a
around?
dick.
Looking to steal shit.
Lying around, he has a ton of stuff laying around.
All right. Well, whenever he's not looking in my direction, I'm just gonna like slip something.
Okay, yeah. Let me know how many times you want to do this, and it'll be some sort of speed sleight of hand stealing check, depending on what skills you have.
Are you stealing stuff or slipping things in?
No. Stealing.
I didn't know if you were gonna slip him some herb.
No, freebies are only for people I like.
Yeah, but it's funny because he's an actor and he's gonna go on stage.
Oh, like in his drink?
Exactly what I
Okay.
was thinking.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we can try that.
I'll
Either way.
distract him.
Either way.
Say, so I've got quite a few questions. Thelian?
That's right, Thelian, Maestre. And he kind of flares his arms up in a dramatic pose.
Yeah, Mr. Special. Okay. You ever heard of a Slidkin?
A Whatkin? Is that some sort of agent?
A Slidkin? No. Your name was found on a list with a few other people. Yulin and quite a long list of names checked off. So I was wondering if you had ever heard of a Slidkin or have any connection to Yulin, a seamstress.
Oh, I know her.
He kind of waves his hands around. I have all sorts of seamstresses. I don't pay attention to names, just quality of their wares. Now, you showed me a sample of their goods, and perhaps I would know. But a list, you
I don't
say?
have that.
What kind of lists? I do get on all sorts of lists, usually the greatest of invitations.
Probably not a list you'd like to be on. Seemed to be a list of people who this Slidkin was possibly going after its associates.
Well, that definitely does not sound like the type of invitation I would accept.
Wow, this creature is definitely making a meal out of these people.
Oh my, that sounds horrible.
Oh my. Oh my. He's George Takei.
And you said they want something to do with me?
I'm not sure. Do you have any people that are displeased with you?
Oh, well, there's always someone who doesn't see my brilliance and magnificence on the stage. Pure peasants, I swear.
Yes, I do recall the inciting violence when this was performed a little while ago.
Quite a distressing endeavor that was. Had to cancel the show for 2 days.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry.
Welcome back.
What was that?
I have returned.
Do we need to take like a 5-minute break?
What? Oh no, sorry. Someone was at my door.
Okay.
So, should I be concerned?
Absolutely. I'd get some extra guards in here, maybe.
I'm gonna steal something.
All right, give me a. Then let's go with the difficulty 3 sleight of hand.
When he says, should I be concerned? Does he turn and face James?
So yeah, he's turned and faced James once
Okay.
the conversation started. He started out like just talking while looking in the mirror.
Yep.
But then he turned around.
All right. What difficulty?
A 3.
All right.
So if you could write down a list of some of your associates and possibly people that you've angered, it'd be fantastic.
He's like, we'll get Francois on that. He's the name guy. I can't be concerned with such frivolities. My only concern and care is the stage. And yeah, while he's gesticulating, you swipe this very sparkly crystal decanter off of his tabletop.
Has it got anything in it?
Yeah, it's got some rose-colored liquid of some sort inside it.
Okay.
Do I see this?
I'm gonna also try and put something in his drink.
So yeah,
Also gonna want to see that if I can too.
give me a perception. Well, yeah. Are you depends? Are you watching?
I don't know. I'm probably pretty like I do probably have a decent bit of focus on James and the interaction there, but I still want to
He's
see if I
been
can
like-
catch this going on in the corner of my eye or something.
Do I see it messing around behind?
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you want to notice, it'd be difficulty 3 perception
Oh, yeah,
check.
Tink
And
sees me.
Tink
absolutely sees me.
definitely sees.
So is it the same check to put something that'll phase him out
Nope,
in
I
his
see
drink?
nothing.
We'll say it'll be a difficulty 4. Be a little different, a little more difficult to get Sato over to his drink. Oh wow, Webb is on it.
18. 18. You didn't see that one.
I hope I see that too.
All right, so what do you put in his drink?
Like it's kind of like that root, except it's refined. It's a powder, and it has a stronger effect.
So it's going to make him see things and get a little loopy.
No, it'll make him really kick back. Like he's gonna be really, really relaxed.
All right. It's in his drink, but he seems to be little distracted with his possible impending doom.
Say, can you just give me a sample of your handwriting right here?
My handwriting. Well, you do want an autograph, you cheeky boy, you. And he kind of reaches up and tries to pinch your cheek.
I back away.
It's like pinching Clint Eastwood's cheek or something.
Hey, it's best you don't touch me. Unless you want to lose that hand.
Ooh, so rambunctious.
Oh my.
Well, and he opens up a drawer, reaches in, and I'm sure I have some stock autographs around here. And he brings out and hands you a piece of paper, and it actually has something else stuck on it at first. And he's like, "Oh no, that's not for the likes of you. I'm sorry. That's a very special appointment." And he takes it back and yeah, give me a difficulty 2 perception check. It's because he is trying to take it back a little quickly.
Oh, finally got that one.
Yeah, it's upside down or face down, so you don't see what's on it, but you recognize the paper. It's the same quality paper as what you found in the cellar.
Say, do you have any more of that paper?
This? Oh no, this arrived a couple days ago. It's a invitation. It's from the Pope, I'm sure.
Mind if I take a look at it?
Well, if you only want to look, I have to have it after all. It's
Oh no, you can have it back when I'm done. I just need to check it out.
yes, he'll hand it over and this is what you see. That show for everyone?
Yeah. Do we all see this, or is it just him right now?
Just James.
I think you're busy, aren't you?
No, I'm watching the whole thing. I'm just doing stuff subtly.
Your microphone is going bad again.
Messing up again.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah, it's like a dying robot.
Can I gauge his
Sounds like a piece of craft.
his vibe? Like, is he trying? Does it seem like he's trying to hide things?
Does
Like
that
he's not giving us the whole.
does that skill require a roll? Post the skill.
It's skills. It's like I'm trained in detecting falsehoods, piercing illusions or disguises, and seeing past facades.
And
Yeah,
do I
you
still sound like a robot?
Nope.
sound
A little
sound
choppy,
better.
but it's okay. I'll just.
It's what?
I'm just it's okay. It's fine.
Yep, sounds good for now.
Okay.
But yeah, if you want to try to read him, you can give me a
Is this a facade? Like, is he putting on a face?
Well, he's an actor.
yeah. I would
Is
I
he
would say
trying to mask
I would
his
say
intentions?
it would probably require a roll because his actorness.
What difficulty?
Let's see, it'd probably be a little more harder because he is an actor and he's probably performing maybe subconsciously whenever he's in front of someone. So a 3.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Yeah. I guess we'll roll this one. Should I roll for that, or should I roll for detecting lies?
The other one.
Whew.
Yeah,
Oh my.
he he definitely seems, and you can't really tell if he's doing it on purpose or not, but it does seem like he's laying it on thick. But he doesn't seem to be like trying to hide anything. Seems
It's
to
not
be
actually this pompous though. It's
He's
his
just an
persona.
ass.
maybe slightly more aggravated from the norm, but he's definitely trying to show off his artistic talents and prove that he's better than everyone else around him.
Now I have a question. Is the handwriting on the letter the same as the handwriting on the sheet of paper that I found?
Yes.
He's the Slitikin. Slit his throat.
Okay.
Yes, and for those that may not be able to read it on the stream, I can blow it up, but then it blows up too big. This says, due to your lovely demeanor and gracious activities of the past year, we humbly request the honor of your delightful presence in Leox Square on the 9th day of this month, at the exquisite time when the sun is highest above the glistening spires of glorious Chi. At this time, we hope to celebrate your value and place in the beautiful world we all have the good fortune to share.
What if this marks him? Like he's gonna get stabbed.
Right? There's definitely something shady going on.
Kind of seems like it, doesn't it?
It could be cryptic.
And as you're looking it over, he's like, I can't tell you how many accolades and awards I've received in the past, but this one seems extra special. I just know it that I'm finally going to get that audience with the Pope. Can you imagine being able to perform for His Holiness himself?
Yes.
Do we know this guy from just his reputation? Is he like a celebrity?
Yeah, he's kind of a small time celebrity. He definitely thinks he's bigger than he is.
Right. Yep.
You mind if we take a quick bathroom break?
Sure, we can do that.
Cool.
Yeah, because I think you missed the last break that we took. So yeah, we'll take a quick little break. So hang tight, and we'll be back shortly. Switching back. Close out the music because I don't know whether or not that will interfere with our voices. Not too sure if I want to have music play in the background this time around or not. Hopefully next time everybody will be able to get on cam.
I wish there was like a Discord bot
Yeah.
or something like that that could play Spotify playlists. But I think that's illegal.
What was that about Discord?
I wish there was a bot that could play Spotify playlists.
I know there's bots that do stuff, but yeah, I don't know. There. As far as streaming goes, there was some people that were getting in trouble with like Spotify and copyrighted
Yeah.
music and all that.
Yeah.
That's why I generally use something called Pretzel Player. It's all non-copyrighted stuff. But nothing like good fantasy based. That's why we have like what I've been doing for music is called Battle Bards,
Oh,
Serenscape.
that's on Roll20 actually.
Yep,
They have
dude.
Battle Buds.
Some of their stuff is on here. Serenscape is another program that I have. That's where I had like the Matthew Mercer Victor voice and stuff. I use it for other things on my stream.
Have you seen his new voice pack?
Oh yeah. Oh god. That
For Matt?
none of the games I play though, unfortunately. Otherwise, I would be tempted. But to get back into this, so you're definitely currently talking with Thalian Maestre, and you just found that he had received a invitation to what he thinks is to give some much deserved reward and honor on the 9th.
Is this shared around? Can we all read this?
That's up to James.
Yeah, I'll say, come on over here.
Go and
What?
check it out.
Take-
I give what's his name? Thalian? A
Yep.
pat on the shoulder as I go past. Have a drink. Calm your nerves. We'll be out of here soon.
He recoils at your touch and starts fastidiously like brushing off, like he's afraid that you put a smear on his costume.
I might have actually.
I didn't want to presume that. It's you know, as I mentioned, you know, to sidetrack a little bit, looking at chat, you know, I mentioned that my sister and her friends said hi earlier. It was her and her girlfriend, and I was just informed that they had their like gay girl night out party or something, and so they were probably in a bar watching us play D&D, and it's a shame. It's a shame that they didn't stick around to see Thalian. I think they would have got a kick out of this.
Say, who gave you this letter?
But it arrived through the dispatch, don't you know? I never see who leaves all my gifts, and some hate mail. One cannot be as magnificent as I and not get some threats from time to time. I'm sure Francine could tell you who sent it. As I said, Francine is the names person. I don't deal with names.
Oh, we'll have a talk with her next. You wouldn't perhaps want any bodyguards to go with you on this visit, just in case. Wouldn't want anything to happen to you between here and there, of course.
Oh, but of course, I always have my concierge follow me around.
Well, me and my friend here, we'd be happy to accompany you as well, if you like.
Oh, growing attached to me, are you? Oh, stop it. I might think you're trying to flirt.
Yes, well, what do you think?
I won't turn down the offer if you want to be my plus one.
Tink walks over and smells the wine glass. Just tries to get a little.
When that's been spiked.
Yeah, and mostly it's trying to be kind of like a double deception there, because I don't think Webb knows Tink saw him do it, but really I'm just trying to sniff it,
I don't think
acting
anyone
like
saw me do that. I rolled a 18.
to do it.
Yeah.
But, oh, I rolled an 18 perception.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
I was trying to scroll. I was trying to scroll up.
Mikar's call.
I don't remember, but I think she did see. I think she was the only one that saw,
Oh, okay.
or he, or they.
Oh, so you're trying to
You can
full
use
web as well?
I've almost decided you can use any pronoun for Tink.
Okay, because I'll forget.
Yeah, I think you can. Yeah, so you can switch all around and just use any pronoun for Tink. Pronouns
Probably
are
used
probably
all
not
of them by
something.
now.
Yeah, I've used all of them. Anyway, it's kind of more about acting like whatever is in the cup is currently altering the actor, and also trying to draw attention to it to see if she can instigate him to take a sip.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because as far as like actually trying to detect a smell, that would be on
Yeah.
web. I don't know. I'll leave
Yeah.
that to Jolly to decide
No.
what type of.
Yeah,
Probably a check.
exactly. It's just kind of more like looking at it and making a face like, "What are you on, buddy?" But kind of with this other motivation of hoping he'll take a drink of it if he sees Tink do that.
If he sees you going after his drink, he will pick it up and. Oh, my dear, that's for me. If you want something, I'm sure we can get someone to see to your needs. You've been
Just-
quite quiet this whole time. Aren't you a cute little one? What are you? How are you associated
What
with
are
this?
you?
I was
Tinkle just like,
I was about to say what I was going to say. What are you doing here? But how are you associated? Though,
Tinkle
though,
That
though,
works out
though,
perfectly.
technically, he probably could be rude enough to say, "What are you?"
right, exactly. So
She
Tink's
does
just
look
gonna
pretty
be
weird.
like, "Eep," and just run over behind Webb and just hide behind Webb and like grab him behind the waist.
Such a
You
cute
take a
little
sip?
mouse. He's holding it. He's more or
Okay.
less like protecting his property.
Okay.
And so yeah, he holds out his hand for the invitation for the note back.
I wrote down an exact copy of the note in my book.
All right. And he's like, so should I send one of my people to gather you up when it's time for the grand show. And speaking of the show, do you want to stick around for tonight's performance?
Yes.
Sure, we're here.
Well, as my future +1, I'm sure we can see to getting you some seats. It should be a grand show.
Thank you.
Well, if that's all, I must insist that I shoo you on now. Unfortunately, magnificent doesn't come naturally. We have to put on the face.
Right, we'll be out of your way.
Never stop watching to see if he takes a drink. As we leave the room, I just keep watching to see if he takes a drink.
He yells out, Francine! See these two, the seats of the guest of the house. And he turns around and does take a sip of the drink, and goes to putting on the rest of his costume. And you see this.
Do not want to miss the show tonight.
And you see this very, very harried, waifish individual. Got big round spectacles, and got like two garments in one hand and a sheaf of papers in the other. Come bustling through the door when Thalion yells out, yes, Thalion, is there something you need? I said, see these individuals to our guests of the house seats. They're going to be enjoying the performance tonight as my personal friends of the show. Do see that they get everything they need. Yes, indeed, Francine. I mean, well, Francine's me. Therian, I'll get right on it. And he's like, this way. Hurry, not much time. It's busy around here as always. He quickly rushes you through the maddeningness of the backstage stuff and sits you up. It's kind of like on second row. It's next to the next to where the band is. So it's not like VIP, but it's very close.
With player intrusions, are we limited to the ones that are on our type, or can we like say something and you let us know if that's?
Yeah, you can try to come up with something on your own. Got something in mind?
Just clarification.
Okay. I was waiting to see if you're about to drop something.
Wait
No.
for it.
Okay, so yeah, he gets you set up, and he gives you a itinerary of the show, which has the name of the play, all the actors, and of course Thalion is like front and center on it. Big, got more page space than anyone else. And a little tidbit about what the show is, and a long list of rules. No talking during the show. No loud eating while the performers are on the stage. Keep all applause to the end. And do feel free to throw any money, coins. Save the undergarments for yourself, but roses is fine. And no rotten fruit. And he goes and runs off.
And it was the 7th of which month?
This is the 7th of Rebirth.
Rebirth. Okay, cool.
That's calendar.
Tussa.
Tusa. it is very interesting that all these names are stuff that came up when I was trying to look for synonyms for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So it wasn't just me randomly making up stuff, it's actually things. So yeah, you're set up for the show. Anything you plan on doing?
Find a good seat.
Oh, they gave you special seats next to the band. It's starting to fill in. It's not quite time for the show.
We were going to ask his concierge
Oh yeah.
if she had seen who delivered the letter
that
or
probably
the invitation.
Yeah, that would be the person that was seating you. Francine.
Francine.
I'm getting a phone call, sir.
And yeah, he will say, what's that? You want to know about a letter? Oh, Delian gets all sorts of letters all the time. You have to be a little more specific.
What on the fancy paper that said, what was it? To meet at the Lock Square, 9th, and the sun is highest.
Oh, the fancy one. Yeah, the one that Delian thinks is from the Pope. Ah, yeah, very, 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 very important stuff. That it was very fancy. Came in a special envelope. Only thing that came in that day came in yesterday. No return address. Didn't see who dropped it. It was just under the door for the theater.
The envelope?
Ah, yes. Let me look and see. Nope. I gave it to Thelian. No telling what he did with it.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else? You want any? Well, no, I'm not getting that for you. I get it for Thelian. But you want anything to drink? Food? There's concession stands over there. Oh, do feel free to buy your special Thelian scarf. Very hot item. Yes, good. Make you look all fancy like Thelian.
Thank you. We'll keep that in mind, I suppose.
Honey, well, I have many things to do. And he's like dropping papers and stumbling over the garments that he has in his hands. Oh, look at me. So clumsy. Oh, Thelian's going to yell. See you later. So yes, it's up to you. Are you going to stay in the seats or go get something to drink?
Yeah. Oh no, I'm poor. Remember, I spent all my money.
All right, so it takes a little bit of time. It seems like just you're being seated was around the time that they were opening up the doors and people were moseying their way in. It's a big size amphitheater, and it's actually open. It is an amphitheater. It's open to the sky, but it's well cordoned off so that nobody can sneak in without paying the entrance price. And yeah, you have a very, very up close view of the show, A Bit of Revenge. And it seems to be like a 7-part play. It's part comedy, and it's got a smattering of drama and a little bit of a murder mystery going on. And it seems to deal with the plot line of a traveling merchant who gets into a sordid affair with a carnival stage act. It's it's a very weird show, but that you kind of get the sense that's where like the comedy aspect of it's supposed to go, and it ends up with a string of murders, and it's all like who's doing the murder, and it culminates with it being all just a bunch of circumstantial accidents. Like no one was actually doing it. It was just like all their crazy antics trying to trying to keep the affair quiet and all this. It's just one of those big sordid mess movies. Like what? But there was some funny stuff in it. There was definitely a lot of overacting, and Thelian was definitely very dramatic whenever he was on stage, and he did seem to be a bit under the influence. There was definitely some moments that were comedy induced from the crowd that probably shouldn't have been as part of the play, but he played it off. So the rest of his actors on stage was definitely giving him some strange look at times. It's going to be an interesting review the next day. And this thing that you gave him, how intense is it supposed to be? Or do we not have a jolly? Webb, are you here? I think he might have stepped away.
He said he got a phone call.
Oh. I was trying to drag it out a little bit, waiting for that intrusion that he seemed that he was going to be doing. So we may have to backtrack, and
That's
if he wants to do one, yeah. So what's the plan after the play is over? About this time, it's probably getting it's past ebb, and it's probably getting in the night.
I figure I'm going home and going to bed.
Look at the calendar, you can see that ebb is when it's just starting to get dark, and night is actually nighttime. That's very simple. So you're headed home. What is Tink's plans?
If it looks like things are wrapping up for the night, I'll imagine I'll head. If Webb is heading back, I think we'll probably go back to the same place, head to the pallets.
All right. Dang it. We're getting close to the 10 o'clock time, which is, I believe, about 4 hours, which is where I was going to kind of cut it.
Yeah, that's fine.
We got a little late start, so it hasn't quite been 4 hours. Dang it! I don't want to just head away. I wanted to see if he's going to come back. I'm curious what type of intrusion he wanted to do. I'm sure he had something up his sleeve. But I guess we'll just have to do that as like a rewind. The next time. So no telling how long he's going to be. So that's it for this tonight's festivities. I'm still trying to get into the swing again.
Thank you, Brian.
The Numenera swing or what?
Yeah, the GMing period.
Oh yeah. It's
I
tough
always
when you've been out of it for a while.
What's that? Numenata? What was that, Adam?
Oh, I said it's tough when you've been out of it for a while.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it does look like he's coming back. So anyway, I'm playing music. Hope y'all enjoyed watching the show. Didn't really advertise for this one, so there wasn't a lot of people show up. But this will be going up on YouTube probably tomorrow or Monday. Still need to update the World Anvil thing. I don't really know what to do with World Anvil. There's like so much to it, so I don't know really how to update it. I will probably be putting up something for the NPC that we met, Eliana. Had brief interactions with her, so I don't know what all is going to be going up there. But some sort of character profile will be posted for her, and I guess next time we should have Josh and hopefully the whole crew, and we'll be using cams, and we'll see what evolves. Hope you all enjoyed it, and thanks for watching.
Bye.
Thank you, Brian.